So my 5 ways to pass her pull-away test video recently passed 100,000 views. Thank you all for watching that video. But that said, somebody left a comment on there that I wanted to answer. And he said, men need to stop walking on eggshells around these females. It is them who need to live up to our expectations. As really, what do they bring to the relationship that we could not pay for? And so his overall question is, what do women bring to the table? And I'm going to answer that today by giving you 15 things that women bring to the table in relationships. Now, to start off with, I don't like this whole absolutist idea that people tend to have on either side. You know, women saying all men are terrible and men saying all women are X, Y, and Z. I wholeheartedly do not believe that. I believe that we are both here with a purpose and design to help each other out. So to just blanket statements say women across the board don't bring anything to the table, I will never agree with that. Maybe some other channels do, but I don't see how having that thought process is going to help you get a woman, all right? Secondly, we're going to assume that the women that are bringing these things to the table are clinically sane women who have a good head on their shoulders and are legitimately trying to make your life better and trying to find a partner that she can get with to be the love of her life, okay? And yes, guys, some of you are jaded, but there are women out there like that exist, and they are not hard to find, contrary to popular belief. So I'm gonna give you now 15 things in short succession that women bring to the table in relationships. This is in no particular order of importance. I'm just gonna go over them. So the first thing women bring to the table is they are observant. Men, when we are really in the trying to achieve our goals phase of our lives, we can get very singularly focused, which is good if you're trying to go after and achieve a specific goal. But the problem is you might not be observant of other things around you that either could be a threat to you or could actually be beneficial to you in your quest. But women are very good at being multi-focused and multitasking. So whereas you might be singular focused, it's good to have somebody there that's going to be able to be observant of other things and bring them to your attention, thus helping you along the way. Another great thing that women bring to the table, and this ties into the being observant part, is that they are very good at anticipating your needs oftentimes before you do. If a woman has been with you long enough, she's gonna start studying your habits, your patterns, what you like, what you don't like, what you may effectively need sometime in the future. And they will be the ones to be like, hey, I thought you might need this thing, so I did this. Or hey, I know you were gonna be tired when you got home, so I made you your favorite meal. Or hey, I know you're going out of town on this trip, so I got you these various things. And I can't begin to tell you the number of women I've dated that I've just mentioned some stuff like, oh, I wish I had this book, or I wish I had this thing to go with whatever. And then like somewhere down the line, they not only get what I'm asking for, more often than not, they get a better version of it that I wouldn't have been able to find if I was just, solo on my own. So they really do bring that skill of being able to anticipate your needs and then fulfilling those needs to the table. Again, if you have a good, solid woman. Another thing that great women bring to the table is that they are good at multiplying resources. And this, obviously, they take in your seed, you get a kid. You bring home some random ingredients from the store, they make a really good meal. They are really efficient at being able to figure out what is the best way to take this amount of resources we currently have and multiply them 2-fold, 3-fold, 10-fold, which if you're a guy trying to save money, is actually a very, very valuable skill. And it's not to say that as a guy, you can't have that skill. I'm just saying in my lifetime, I've observed that women tend to be a lot better at it. Another thing that women bring to the table is, we'll say for purposes of YouTube, hookups and good company. A woman that is highly interested in you is also gonna be interested in fulfilling your needs in the bedroom. And for the women watching this, yes, he should be willing to take care of yours too. So we're not gonna ignore that. But the point is that ideally, she's gonna study you, she's gonna wanna know what your likes are in the bedroom, your dislikes, and be able to really bring her A game in that capacity. On top of outside of the bedroom, she's bringing good conversation, she's knowing how to be with you on trips, you're able to be your true authentic self with her and open up to her and laugh and joke with her, and that is the good company that is going to be brought along. Now, you might think, but you have guy friends for that, but it's a different dynamic because ideally with your guy friends, when you're laughing and joking, it's not gonna eventually at some point lead to a hookup. But like good company with a woman, you're making her laugh, she feels that she can trust you, you're having a good time with her, you can have a great time just hanging out with her, but it can also later on lead to some bedroom stuff, which you kind of want at some point, right? Another thing that women bring to the table, this number 5, is they bring an emotional perspective to your decision making. Guys, we are very logic-based, and that helps us in a lot of ways. But the downside to that is sometimes in an attempt to do something that we feel is logical, we might not add in the emotional component that could actually cause this thing to go haywire if we don't do it the right way. For example, you want to ask your boss for a raise. You think logically, well, I've been at the company for 4 years and I need to go in there and just say, hey, I need a raise. But your wife or girlfriend might observe, hey, he just had a death in the family. Maybe either this isn't the time to bring it up, or there's a way to bring it up that's going to be sensitive to what he's going through, but still getting your point across. And without that woman being there, you might not have even thought about that. There's a plethora of things that men will try to go after on a logic situation, but you forget that you're dealing with other people in these decisions, and you have to be mindful of their emotions and what they may want out of it. And I think women just have a better read on what those things could possibly be and can inform you about what those things are, so you can actually be able to make decisions and to be able to deal and network with other people in a more effective way. Another thing that women bring to the table is they are good representations of you and your brand. Now, some of you might not think this is important, but really, who you have on your arm is going to determine how other people at times are going to observe you. So if you have a ratchet chick on your arm, you now become ratchet. You could be the classiest guy in the world, suits up and down. You're dealing with a ratchet chick, people are going to view you as ratchet, versus dealing with a woman that's a little bit more classy and is able to bring her A game to various situations. Now it's going to up your brand because people are going to see it as you chose the right mate. All right. And it might, to some of you guys that are like 20 years old watching this, that might not seem important. As you get into your 30s and 40s, you're going to start to observe that most of the high-end guys that are in these really high-up positions also have women next to them that know what the situation is. They know how to dress up classy, how to talk classy, how to be classy around various people. And it does become very, very important. And again, having a classy woman next to you really does effectively help you in the observation of others, thus helping your brand and allowing you to have success, oftentimes a lot easier than if you didn't have a classy woman by your side. Another thing that women bring to the table is they are helpful in social situations. And this is especially true for you introverts out there who may go to parties and don't want to talk to people. But you got a woman next to you that knows how to talk that gab. And even if she's an introvert, most women just typically have better verbal social skills when they're going out and talking to people. They know how to put on not the facade, I want to say, but they know how to put on the costume of being able to be cordial to people and to laugh at their jokes and to up you up in public, talk about how great you are and up your game so people can see how great you are, even though you should be able to say that, but you may not be able to because you're an introvert, you don't know these people. Well, this woman here is able to do that for you, and it is going to be a big help for you guys, all right? So yeah, they're very helpful in social situations where it may be a thing that if you're not able to talk that right way for yourself, she can do that and still make you look good. Another thing that women bring to the table is, again, this is the caveat, is if you're dating the right kind of woman, they can be a calming presence when the world has agitated you. You're going out there every day, slaying dragons, trying to be more successful, having to deal in negotiations and talk to people, or your job just, being all haywire and you're getting really frustrated. It's nice to know that you can go home and the woman is there to be your peace, to make you a meal, to give you massages, to allow you to open up about your day, to maybe hook up with you to get some of that stress relief. Women really do come in handy for those kind of things. But for the women watching this, I don't want this to sound like that's a bad thing, because again, ideally your guy's a safe space for you and he's doing the right thing so where you can trust him, thus keeping you at ease. But for the men out there, yeah, having the right woman, when you come home and she's there to be your peace, it can really help you to de-stress a lot quicker. Because you could be single and you could go home and you're like, hey, nobody's here, so I don't have to deal with anybody. Yeah, but you could still be tense and be in your head ruminating and thinking about the crap that you had to deal with at the office versus having somebody here to talk to about it and rub your back and do other things that get your mind away from that and allow a distraction to happen, all right? Another thing that women bring to the table is that they can be honest with you in a way the rest of the world may not. Now, realistically, you want to have a woman that kind of knows what your hot buttons are and is not trying to press them. But you still want to have a woman that's going to be wise counsel and is going to be able to tell you the truth about yourself or what you're trying to do. And sometimes those truths may not be things you want to hear. But you know what's a lot worse is going out there into the world and you're going through like a hard time and the world out there is trying to, because they want to be in your good graces, they're lying to you about how great things are going or how wonderful you actually are. Or no, that thing you're working on at work, you're doing it absolutely perfectly and you need wise counsel. And if you are a guy that is able to not be so butthurt when a woman tells you the truth, because most women will try to come to you in a very nice way and say, hey, these things aren't working, you're doing this thing, and this is why it's not a great thing to be doing. A lot of guys get upset. They don't want to hear that they're not perfect. Their ego wants them to think that they're doing everything great. But if you're able to let your ego aside and listen to what your woman has to say, you may find that when she's coming to you and giving you these observations about things that you're not noticing, it can actually help you in your life to get to better situations and to become the kind of guy that can effectively take on the kind of success he's trying to go after versus you being stuck in a rut because nobody's willing to tell you the truth about what you're doing and you're not able to make the moves you need to make. Another great thing that women bring to the table is most women are going to be trying to enhance you to become a better version of yourself. I'm talking about your looks, your clothes, the way you talk, your various habits. Like a woman's going to, ideally, that loves you is already going to be accepting of who you are at the time she meets you. And that's great. But that said, most women are looking at men thinking, this guy has the potential to be something greater in a variety of areas. So never go into a relationship thinking you're just so perfect the way you are that you're not willing to take suggestions from a woman on some tweaks you can make in your personality and how you dress and how you present yourself to the world that, again, could actually be beneficial to you. Because women have great ideas. Hey, you see this shirt? I told my mom for Christmas this year, look, I need some shirts to look better on camera and more professional. And I work from home. I don't typically have to dress up, but I want to look more professional. Please buy me some shirts. And she got me some shirts that I think look pretty nice. Now, outside of your mama, other women are wanting to do that. Other women are wanting to take on the task of helping you become more effective in a variety of areas. So pick one or two things to start that you realize, hey, it's not maybe your strong point, and let her help you to do a better job of those things. Whether it's the kind of shoes you're picking out, or maybe you're like me, you talk faster and you need somebody to help you slow down. Like figure out something she can help you with, and you'll be surprised at the woman you're with will be like, oh my God, like I've always wanted to do this. Anyway, they're great for that. Another thing that women are great at is increasing your value and status. This goes back to the branding thing, but really, a lot of women are also in the habit of, if you're on a certain journey to do a certain thing or have a certain kind of success, they're going to be there for the ride to help you get to those places, whether it's making calls for you, whether it's helping you dress better, or trying to figure out how to get you into certain meetings or in front of certain people that will actually be beneficial. Because the thing is, for women, your success is y'all's success. When you're successful, she's successful. And so in order for her to feel success, she recognizes she's going to need to help you increase your value and your worth in the situation, which will then increase your status, which also increases her status, okay? And so, yeah, women are really effective at doing those kind of things. Another thing that women bring to the table is creating traditions. Real talk. Women love, especially if you're going to be having kids in a family, like women are typically the ones that take on the traditions of like, hey, let's try this thing. Let's do this thing every single year. Hey, wouldn't it be great if we did this like annual vacation trip? Or what if we do this thing with the kids where, once a month we do this activity with them? Like in an attempt to try to create a bond with both you and your potential kids that come out, like women are all about trying to create events that allow for more bonding to happen amongst your guys' selves as well as your families. And so, yeah, this is something that they bring to the table. Guys typically are like, once we get a pattern of something that we do, we'll just do the same thing all the time and won't create anything new. Like how we're living life is fine. We don't need to add anything extra to it to make it special in order to be cool and content. But women just like to add that little extra. And that little extra could be creating traditions that you're going to realize you actually like once she puts them on the table, all right? Another thing women bring to the table, they make great co-pilots on vacations. Like, real talk. Like, I've been on so many vacations by myself where I'm like, okay, I'll just get a cheap little hotel, I'll spend a little bit of money here and there, and that'll be that. And admittedly, sometimes women can want to spend a little bit extra on a vacation, but I've also been on vacations with women who have like convinced me to get hotels that ended up being a full-on experience, or traveling to places that I may not have gone before, or doing things on these vacations that I was initially scared about, but they were like, no, we can do this X, Y, and Z. And I found that they're great for getting out snacks, for being able to map to go places, to be in the co-pilot seat, to pick out the music, or just to, while you're driving 80 miles an hour on the road, stop and say, hey, let's stop here and check out this site real quick. Like, women are really great at that kind of thing. Another thing women bring to the table is they are really good at putting your needs before hers. Now, I put an asterisk next to this one because the caveat is, again, ideally you're the kind of guy that is also doing this for her. You're trying to think about what her needs are before you make all these moves and decisions, because even if you're the leader of the relationship, the reality is that is a lot to put on your shoulders. And so you need to be looking out to make sure you're making decisions that you realize are going to affect her, and that you're trying to put her needs before that decision. But that said, women, you hear all these stories about, oh, I'm the martyr for my family, and like everybody always relies on me, and blah, blah, blah. So as the guy, you got to be wary of that. You got to be mindful that sometimes she needs a break from that. But overall, in general, women that are all about you are willing to set aside the things that they're passionate about and the things that they're interested in if it means that your needs are going to be fed first. Is that always the best thing? Not necessarily, and you want to be mindful of that and monitor that, because you don't want to have the thing where she never says like that she's getting bogged down or burdened, and then she builds up resentment. So you got to make sure she's not building resentment. But that said, I have found that more often than not, women are willing to put your needs before theirs if it means the betterment of you guys' relationship. So understand that, recognize that, respect it, and also monitor it to make sure that she's not doing it and building up resentment at the same time, okay? But they do bring that to the table. And then the last thing I have on this list here, and there could be plenty more, but I only put 15 because I don't want to have this video be a long thing like it already is is women cheer you on when you're going after your goals. Now, you may think to yourself, Harry, why should I care about that? Like, if I'm setting goals already and I'm going after them, why does it matter if she brings cheering me on to the table? Because here's the thing, and this may be a subconscious thing you're not aware of, the majority of things you're going after, you're doing it because at some point down the line, you want to impress a woman. Whether it's you're trying to go after a position at your job, you're trying to earn extra money, you're trying to get a certain type of car, house, apartment, whatever, because eventually you want to be able to say to a woman, hey, look at how great my life is, right? Okay, so now picture you're with a woman, and let's say you come to the table, you already have a certain amount of things right? I have found women in general have always been motivators for men to do better. And it's even more so when you're in a relationship, because now it goes from like you having a theoretical woman to like, oh crap, you have an actual woman here and you got to take care of you and her. And I found that is a really great motivator to drive you to want to succeed. So you have a woman here cheering you on, saying, yes, baby, you can do it. Hey, I'll stick by you. Hey, I'm going to be there for your various parties you're going to. I'm going to talk you up. I'm going to help you out with this and that. Like having just a positive energy force that's basically saying, I believe you can do this thing is so valuable. And for those of you guys that have not experienced that, let me tell you, I have had many great successes along the way, and a lot of that's been due in part to some of the women that I was dating cheering me on. So if you haven't experienced that, it means you are severely lacking in basically the dating department. And honestly, it means that you need to have some work done in order to really figure out how to be able to connect better with women. Because when you connect with the right woman, they're going to bring these kind of things I talked about and more to the table for you in your relationship, and you're going to be all the better for it. But it starts with, you got to have some kind of a basis of knowing how to talk to women, knowing how to approach them, knowing how to take them on certain dates, knowing how they bond with people in a best way that's effective but not manipulative, but will still get them to want to be with you long term. If you do not know those things, I highly recommend subscribing to this YouTube channel and watching all the videos, and then go to my website, introvertdatingsuccess.com, sign up for the IDS Academy, where you will learn the ins and outs of how to meet, greet, attract, land, and keep the woman of your dreams, all right? So hopefully, guys, for now, this helps you out. Also, guys, go to the website and get the album, No Girls For You, The Ultimate Guide to Losing the Girl of Your Dreams soundtrack and ebook combo. This is the album that is done by my buddy Nan Wan, talking about the ins and outs of his dating life, and it's hilarious. And it's based on the ebook I wrote called No Girls For You, where I talk about the pitfalls of why all the things you're doing now to try to get women are actually causing you to lose them. It's a great combo. It's on sale right now at the website, so be sure to check that out and check out the music video for Tongue Tied, which you can watch now on this channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Harry Wilmington, and I'll catch you guys on the next show. I'm out. Peace.
When I see a hot girl, my tongue gets twirled. I don't know what I'll say. And the next thing I know,